The hospital looked less impassable in daylight. That made it worse. At night, St. Orison had become a place of red emergency strips, floating system messages, and things that crawled through vents wearing the shape of nightmares. Daylight put the walls back where they belonged. It showed scuff marks on the tile, framed notices about hand hygiene, a half-empty coffee cup abandoned on a nurse's station, and a child's sticker stuck to the base of a handrail. Ordinary things. Ruined things. Elias hated that more. The medical retrieval team moved in a line down the level 6 corridor. Mara Vale led with one hand raised, fingers faintly ember bright. Kay followed 2 steps behind her with an empty trauma bag slung across her chest. Owen Price came third, pushing a linen cart modified with straps, hooks, and a taped sign that read,
"Medical run, do not touch."
Unless you had a death wish or Helena's permission. Elias brought up the rear. Not because he was brave. Because his stored tray trap was behind them.
Stored action, throw metal tray, corridor warning shot. Release window, 41 seconds.
The label hovered at the edge of his vision, night and patient. 40 seconds. He could feel it waiting. That was new. Before dawn, his skill had been a curse with a countdown. Now it was a loaded spring he could carry in his thoughts. Not safely, not easily, but intentionally.
You are making the face again.
Elias looked at her.
Which face?
The one where you are either planning or about to faint.
Planning.
Convincing.
Mara did not turn around.
If he faints, Owen carries him.
Owen made a distressed noise.
I am carrying supplies.
Then stack him on top.
I object to being stackable.
Then stay upright.
The corridor ended at the east service stairwell. A laminated evacuation map hung beside the door, its "You Are Here" arrow bright red and deeply optimistic. Mara stopped before the handle.
This stairwell was cleared 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes is an ancient historical period now. Yes.
Elias used filled red.
Door closed, no visible damage. Threshold, dust disturbed recently. Sound, none. Escape route, back to Chapel Ward, 32 meters. Stored action, viable as rear distraction if pursuit occurs.
No sound.
Mara glanced back.
You can tell.
Not magically, just listening.
Disappointing.
I will try to become stranger.
You are doing fine.
Mara reached for the handle. Elias almost said wait, then stopped himself. Not every door belonged to him. Mara opened it. Immediately. The stairwell beyond was gray concrete and fluorescent light. Daylight filtered through a narrow wired glass window, one landing below. Someone had dragged a mop bucket halfway down the stairs. Bloody water had dried in a crescent around one wheel. No monsters. No voices. No system warning. Mara stepped through first. Kay followed. Owen maneuvered the cart with surprising grace. His porter class made the awkward load seem to settle around him, wheels finding smooth paths over seams and debris. The system had not given him a flashy combat skill, but it had given him dignity in motion. Elias entered last. Before the door shut, he released the stored action. The metal tray launched from inside the chapel corridor behind them. It struck the far wall with a sharp, ringing crack. Everyone flinched. Mara spun, fire blooming.
Elias.
Warning shot.
For who?
Anything followings.
They listened. The sound echoed down the corridor behind the closing door. Nothing answered.
Stored action released. Delay proficiency increased.
Mara lowered her burning hand slowly.
Warn us before you weaponize kitchenware.
I tagged it as corridor warning shot.
In your head.
Yes.
I do not live there.
Lucky.
Kay made a strangled sound that might have been a laugh. They descended. Level 5 smelled different from level 6. The chapel ward had smelled of wax, blood, and too many frightened people sharing stale air. Level 5 smelled of disinfectant, spoiled food, and smoke. The corridor outside the stairwell opened near palliative care overflow rooms. Sunlight reached here through patient windows, but not enough. Shadows clung under carts and behind half-open doors. Mara moved with familiarity and tension in equal measure.
Oncology infusion is west. We cut through family waiting, past the pharmacy prep room, then storage. Threats.
Helena's voice crackled from the radio at Mara's shoulder. Mara pressed the talk button.
Unknown, daylight cleared, visible hostiles, we are proceeding.
Static.
Check in every 3 minutes. You know radios do not become more reliable with suspicion. Check in every 3 minutes.
Mara released the button. Kay looked at her.
You too have history. No. That was a very historical no. She points weapons at patients. She also kept a safe zone alive. Both can be true.
Elias watched the corridor while they talked. Field Reed turned details into pressure.
Open patient room, low risk, poor visibility. Nurse station, supply value, possible records. Ceiling vent intact. Floor smear, recent movement, non-human drag pattern.
He raised one hand. The team stopped. No one argued. That was new too. Elias crouched near the floor smear. It crossed the hallway from an open patient room to the nurse station, then vanished behind the desk. Not blood. Too pale. More like mucus dried to a translucent film.
Something moved through here.
Mara's fire brightened. Kay stepped closer, then wished she had not.
That is disgusting.
Helpful disgusting. It went behind the station.
Do we need to go behind the station?
Mara looked west.
No.
The nurse station phone rang. Everyone froze. One ring. Then silence. Elias' mouth went dry. The phone sat behind the station desk, beige plastic cord tangled around a clipboard. Normal. Ridiculously normal. It rang again.
No.
Mara lifted her burning hand.
Do not answer it.
I was not planning to.
The phone rang a third time. Then the receiver lifted by itself. Not far. Just enough to click. A voice came through the speaker.
Pediatrics desk, this is Laura.
Owen went pale. Kay looked at him.
You know that voice.
He nodded once.
My daughter.
The receiver swung slightly on its cord.
Dad. Dad, I am downstairs.
Elias felt the entire corridor narrow. Echolure behavior. Maybe a fragment. Maybe a new one. Maybe the hospital had learned telephones were better mouths than monsters.
Owens, look at me.
Owen did not.
Dad, please, the baby won't stop crying.
Kay's face changed. Mara's too. The maternity ward. The system Elias thought was cruel. The monsters were worse. They did not just use grief. They used priorities. Save the child. Open the door. Follow the sound. Get eaten with your hands full of good intentions. Owen took one step toward the station. Elias reached for him. Nothing happened. Of course. One.
Owen, if that is Laura, she needs you alive.
Two. Owen stopped. Three. The voice on the phone began to cry. Four. Kay squeezed her eyes shut. Five. Mara's fire climbed to her elbows. Six.
Tell Dad I'm scared.
Seven. Elias looked at Mara.
Burn the phones.
8.
Gladly.
9. Mara thrust her hand toward the desk. 10. Elias' grip arrived around Owen's sleeve and yanked him backward. At the same moment, Mara's flame struck the phone. The beige plastic blackened. The receiver screamed. Not the voice. The receiver. It split open along the seam, revealing a wet red interior packed with tiny teeth. The cord whipped across the desk like a tongue. Mara swore and poured fire into it. The desk erupted in smoke.
Minor lure destroyed. Experience gained 4.
Owen stared at the burning phone. His knees buckled. Kay caught him under one arm.
Hey, stay with us.
My daughter is in maternity. Laura, she's a pediatric nurse. She took an extra shift last night.
No one spoke. The baby on level 5 had become more than an objective.
We will go.
Mara looked at him. Kay looked at him. Owen looked at him as if Elias had handed him a rope.
After oncology, with supplies, a route, and a plan.
Owen swallowed hard, then nodded. The radio crackled.
Report.
Mara pressed the button.
Minor lure using nurse station phone. Destroyed. No injuries. Repeat phone. Yes.
A pause.
All chapel phones are to be unplugged immediately.
Helena's voice turned distant, speaking to someone else. Then she returned to the radio.
Continue if stable.
Mara looked at Owen. Owen wiped his face with one sleeve and straightened.
Continue.
His voice shook. He still said it. They moved west. Family waiting had been turned into a camp sometime during the night. Blankets on the floor. Snack wrappers. A toppled chair. A handwritten list of names taped to a wall. Elias stopped to read it. Mara did not. Kay did. The list had 16 names. Some had check marks. Some had question marks. 3 had a single word written beside them. Taken. Kay touched the paper.
We cannot carry every story.
Kay's hand stayed there for one more second.
No, but we can read them.
Mara's face softened and closed again so quickly Elias nearly missed both. The pharmacy prep room was locked. Not broken. Locked. For once, a locked door felt luxurious. It suggested there might still be something useful on the other side. Mara produced a keycard from her pocket and swiped it. The reader flashed red. She swiped again. Red.
Access revoked. System probably does not respect badge permissions.
Elias examined the door.
Pharmacy prep, high supply value. Lock electronic powered. Window reinforced glass. Alternate entry, medication pass-through vent, adjacent room.
He looked through the narrow window. Inside were cabinets, refrigerators, a work counter, and a small wall hatch used for passing prepared medications into the infusion room.
Can we get through there?
He pointed to the hatch. Mara shook her head.
It opens from inside.
Can fire break the glass?
Yes,
Can we avoid setting the medicine on fire?
maybe.
That maybe is doing a lot.
Everything is.
Mara echoed Helena with obvious distaste. Owen touched the doorframe.
Could pry it.
Electronic strike plate. If we force the latch, maybe. But noise.
Kay studied him.
You are thinking store action.
I am thinking doors.
You have a complicated relationship.
We are working through it.
Elias took a metal IV pole from Owen's cart. He tested its weight. Light. Awkward. With wheels at the base. Not ideal, but nothing about the morning had been ideal.
I can store a strike. Place the pole against the latch, release from a distance. If it breaks, we are not standing in front of the door.
Mara looked at the latch.
And if it does not?
Then the door judges me.
I meant threats.
Those two.
They cleared the hallway first. Mara checked the family rooms. Kay watched the nurse station behind them. Owen positioned the cart to block a straight line from the east corridor. Elias lifted the IV pole and swung it hard toward the door latch. Nothing moved. He stored the action.
Stored action, strike pharmacy latch with IV pole.
Then he placed the pole's metal end against the latch plate and stepped back with the others.
Ready.
Mara's hands lit. Kay gripped a pair of trauma shears like a knife. Owen held the cart handle. Elias released. The IV pole slammed into the latch with the force of the swing he had made 10 seconds earlier, now delivered from stillness. Metal cracked. The door popped open 3 inches. Something inside clicked. Not a lock. A monitor.
Beep.
Mara's face changed.
Down.
The ceiling vent above the pharmacy door burst open. A white shape dropped from it, long and flat and jointed like a folded surgical screen made of bone. It struck the spot where Elias' head had been before Kay yanked him sideways. Immediately, he appreciated that about other people's actions. The creature unfolded across the wall.
Monitor mimics. Threat level 4.
Its body was thin as a bedsheet and ribbed with translucent plates. Hospital monitor cables hung from it like tendrils. At the center of its body, a black screen pulsed with a green line.
Beep.
The sound went through Elias' skull. Kay froze. Owen froze. Mara staggered. Elias felt his own muscles lock. The green line spiked.
Beep.
His heart tried to follow it. Field Red screamed without sound.
Auditory stun. Line of sight secondary. Fire viable. Movement impaired. Stored action empty.
Bad. The monitor mimic slid down the wall toward them, cables twitching. The green line pulsed again.
Beep.
Elias could not move his arms, but he could speak.
Mara's burn ugly.
Her teeth clenched. Fire crawled over her fingers, weak and shaking. The mimic turned its black screen toward her. The line flattened.
Yep.
Mara collapsed to one knee. Elias' vision darkened at the edges. No stored action. No weapon ready. No 10-second trick prepared. Because he had used the slot on the door. Because he had thought the lock was the problem. The mimic slid closer. Kay's hand twitched around the trauma shears. Her face was pale with effort.
Drop.
Kay's eyes flicked to him.
Drop them.
1. The shears fell from Kay's hand. Immediate because they were hers. 2. They hit the floor beside Elias' foot. 3. He focused every bit of will on his right leg. 4. Direct actions delayed. 5. Kicking counted. 6. He kicked the shears toward Mara. Nothing happened. 7. The mimic's cables wrapped around Owen's cot. 8. Mara's fire guttered. 9. The flatline sound grew louder. 10. The shears shot across the tile. Not at Mara. Past her. They struck the oxygen cylinder strapped to Owen's cot. Elias had not aimed for that. Field Reed had. Or panic had become lucky in a language the system understood. The cylinder shifted. Its valve cracked against the cart frame. Compressed gas hissed into the corridor. Mara's eyes snapped open.
Move!
This time, Elias did not argue with immediacy. Kay dragged him backward. Owen abandoned the cart and threw himself into the family waiting room. Mara thrust both burning hands forward. Fire met oxygen. The corridor flashed white. Heat punched the air flat. The monitor mimic screamed in electronic tones as its thin body ignited. Its green line fractured into jagged static. It thrashed across the ceiling, cables whipping, then folded in on itself like burning paper. The blast knocked Elias into the wall. For several seconds, the world rang. Not beeped. Rang. Important distinction.
Threat defeated, monitor mimic. Experience gained, 22. Tactical assist registered. Delay proficiency increased.
Mara stood in the smoking corridor with fire still around her hands and murder in her eyes.
Did you kick trauma shears into an oxygen cylinder?
Elias coughed.
Not on purpose.
Kay, lying half across his legs, groaned.
That is not better.
Owen lifted his head from the waiting room floor.
My cart.
The cart was blackened but upright. The sign still read.
Medical run, do not touch.
Mara stared at it.
That sign is becoming persuasive.
They took 1 minute to breathe. Only 1. The broken pharmacy door hung open. The prep room beyond had scorch marks near the entrance, but the cabinets remained intact. The refrigerator still hummed. Mara stepped inside first, fire reduced to a cautious glow. Kay followed and immediately began naming supplies.
Antibiotics. Saline. Sterile tubing. Syringes. Gauze. Antiemetics. Pain management. Oh, beautiful actual labels.
Owen brought the damaged cart to the doorway. Elias stood watch outside with a bruised shoulder, ringing ears, and a deepening respect for preparation. His store action slot was empty. He did not like it empty. He picked up a fallen length of monitor cable from the dead mimic, then decided that was disgusting and put it down. Instead, he took a metal clipboard from the nurse station. He made a hard throwing motion toward the east corridor and stored it.
Stored action, throw clipboard, east corridor interruption.
Then he placed the clipboard on the floor beside the pharmacy entrance, angled outward. Mara watched from inside the prep room.
Loading the room again.
Yes.
Good.
That single word landed better than praise should have. The radio crackled.
Medical team report.
Mara pressed her radio.
Pharmacy prep reached. Monitor mimic destroyed. Minor blast damage. Supplies intact. Injuries.
Mara looked at Elias.
Existing nuisance remains mobile. Copy.
Kay glanced up from a cabinet.
Tell her we found antibiotics.
Mara did. Static answered.
Good, return when loaded.
Owen looked toward the West Hall.
Maternity.
The word made the room smaller. Kay stopped sorting. Mara's face closed. Elias looked at the supplies. Then at the corridor. Then at the countdown until sunset.
Next sunset, 11 hours, 58 minutes, 12 seconds.
Enough time to return. Enough time to go farther. Not enough time to do both safely. Which meant they were going to do both unsafely. The radio crackled again before anyone could speak. Not Helena this time. A different voice. Young. Female. Faint under static.
This is Laura Price in maternity. If anyone hears this, we have 12 survivors, 1 newborn, and the ward doors are failing.
Owen went still. The voice continued.
Something is counting outside.
In the background, a baby cried. Then another sound came through the radio. Slow. Patient. Many voices whispering numbers together.
7, 8, 9.
The transmission cut. Elias looked at his empty hands. For once, 10 seconds felt too short.